Dr. Wallace Alcorn, and I'm going to turn that over to Trustee Geezer at this time.
Thank you very much. Throughout the year, we are welcoming a veteran who lives in our community to tell us a little bit about their time in the service. And today, I think we have a very special one. I think we're all going to enjoy this presentation. It's Dr. Wallace Alcorn. He is a resident of Windsor Park. He's lived there for 4 years. He chose Windsor and Carroll Stream from Minnesota. So we're very happy that he chose our community. And what makes him interesting for our Veteran Spotlight, and I'm sure he'll enlighten us on this as well, is he served for 43 years in the military. So I look forward to hearing this presentation. Dr. Alcorn?
Mr. Mayor, trustees, thank you. Under the patriotic fever of World War II, peculiar to those years, I dropped out of high school and enlisted in the Navy on my 17th birthday. In fact, at 0730 hours when the recruiting station opened. I continued in the armed forces, active in reserve, until the law required me to retire on my 60th birthday for a total of 43 years. About a fourth of that was on active duty. The rest of the time was in active reserve units. With World War II over and the emergency winding down, they let me transfer to the Naval Reserve to finish high school and to attend college. Having surrendered veterans benefits to do so, I was drafted into the Army for Korea when I graduated from Wheaton College. I secured the hazardous job of teaching psychology and speech at the Adjutant General School, and at the same time was a counterintelligence agent, which sounds about as adventurous as it was not. In the Army Reserve, I became a military police officer. Upon seminary graduation, I was recommissioned as a chaplain, which filled the final 28 years. Eventually, I became a specialist in chaplain training, teaching at the chaplain school and the Command and General Staff College. When the law required me to retire as Desert Storm was beginning, I was a colonel and staff chaplain in the Military District of Washington. My son succeeded me as a tank platoon leader in Iraq. None of this, however, is to seek recognition or claim any honor. It is, in fact, a testimony of gratitude for the privilege and honor of serving my country. It is a thank you for all the armed forces have given me and done for and to me. I have received far more from the military than I ever put into it. Whatever I learned in pursuing 5 civilian degrees, the Army chaplaincy taught me yet more about ministering pastorally. The armed forces made me a sailor and then a soldier. It made me a citizen. It made me a man. It has only recently become common to hear, "Thank you for your service." Well, thank you for that. But what I want to say this evening is to our country, to all of you, thank you for letting me serve.
Wait a second, we're not done with you. Thank you for your service.
Dr. Alcorn, we'll have a few questions, I'm sure. Anyone on the board have a question or comment?
Well, I'm just going to follow the mayor's lead, and you can thank the service, and that is amazing, but I'm going to thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being there for us.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask.
I echo that too.
I'd like to ask you what brought you to Carroll Stream? How'd you end up here?
Windsor Park.
I mean, you just researched different
Well,
communities
no.
to live, or
First of all, when I came back to Wheaton College for graduate school, somebody mentioned Carroll Stream, and I said, "Where in the world is that?" Wasn't here when I was in undergrad school. And then as Windsor Park was started, it was 30 years ago this last November, November of 1986. When it started, I noticed reading in the Wheaton College Alumni Magazine these retirees moving there, classmates moving there, and I respected them all, and I thought, well, if that's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, and I'd like to be there. And this is a good area culturally and geographically. There's so much going on and so much we're involved. And so that's why we chose Windsor Park.
Thank you for
And with
coming.
Carol
Thank you
Stream.
for coming.
Anyone else?
Yeah, well, it's awesome. My grandfather was a World War II vet in the Pacific Theater, so it's awesome to meet somebody who also served in that war. It's just kind of like more of a, not comical question, but when Army plays Navy in football, do you pick a side? I noticed you were on both teams for.
Well, when I was an enlisted man in the Army in basic training, and Army played Navy, we gathered in the day room and cheered for Navy because we thought it was a way of getting back at our officers.
Very good. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm glad you picked Carroll Stream.
Thank you.
And you couldn't have picked a better place than Windsor Manor. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Now, Rick, is he gonna be working with you on our memorial? Is that, we got somebody on the inside that's,
Well,
Military,
I was mentioning it to him, and I would like to talk, we are working on a memorial. We're redoing our Veterans Memorial here in Carroll Stream at Memorial Park, and I was going to encourage you to participate in some of our meetings and to talk to the veterans at Windsor about what we're doing.
we would really appreciate any help you can give us, because it's a major project. Thank you.